Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I am with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Hello, one and all.
Okay, so as I said before, the Ghostbusters story deepens. Okay, more stuff is coming out, and again, I really want everybody to take what Dan Aykroyd said with a grain of salt, and let me tell you why. For the people that weren't even born yet, okay, and new Ghostbuster fans that came later, there's always been stuff that has been said by Dan Aykroyd where people have been having problems. I echo it again. People have been having problems with what he said, and there's been like infighting here and there. I just want to say what Sony said 3 hours ago, okay? Now, of course, let's repeat what Dan Aykroyd said, all right? Let's see. He said, the director said that the director spent too much money on Ghostbusters 2016 Answer the Call, and he didn't shoot scenes we suggested to him. Several scenes that were going to be needed, he said, no, we don't need him, the director said. And then we tested the movie, and they needed him. And he had to go back, and he spent about 30 to 40 million. Scott, I'm just going to mute you for a second, only because... Okay, I'm sorry. And I'll mute you in a second. Okay. So he basically says that it cost 30 to 40 million in reshoots. The Canadian Star had nothing but praise for the film's cast, which included Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon, and all new female Ghostbusters, adding, I was really happy with the movie, but it cost too much, and Sony does not like to lose money. It made a lot of money around the world, but it just cost too much to make, making it economically not feasible to do another one. He added, Feig will not be back on the Sony lot anytime soon. So here's the thing. One, I guess Dan Aykroyd didn't have any say, so Paul Feig didn't have to go with what Dan Aykroyd wanted. I guess that's the way the deal was. Amy Pascal gave him full control, which is fine if that's the way it is. Another thing is Sony is saying no, that is not the case. They spent between 3 to 4 million, and Sony went on to say that they have a strong relationship with Paul Feig and have an incredible respect for his work. Okay, it appears Sony Pictures bosses are more than happy with the film's $230 million international, with $179 million international gross, and they took issue with Aykroyd's comments. So again, now is the opposite side of what's coming out. Okay, now here's the thing, and again, I don't know if I should even say this on the cast, but there are times when Dan Aykroyd is socially awkward with dealing with the media, okay? And that's not because of the way he is, but he was diagnosed with Asperger's a while back in 2013. So he could say things that he doesn't realize, is offensive or something, or he could do things that may not necessarily be, completely on the ball. So, again, nothing against that, because it's not even on the spectrum anymore, the Asperger's, but he is socially, has a problem with dealing with things socially. Now, again, if Sony Pictures is saying no, it only costs 3 to 4 million, you have to wonder what it is that's going on with Dan Aykroyd. Now, again, if there was this thing that he did to create a trending thing to get Ghostbusters 3 made, that's not going to happen because Bill Murray said no. And unless he decides to do Ghostbusters with Ernie Hudson, which I strongly doubt that will happen, and I don't think that will work. I think that would do less if it was Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson than with Bill Murray. I think it would do less than the Girls movie. That's not going to work. So I don't know what he's trying to do, because I remember Dan Aykroyd saying that this movie was funnier than his movies, He also went on to say that he was a big part of it, which it seems like he wasn't, and that he had say, which it seems like he didn't. So I'm really, he must have thought maybe it's taken on, it's growing, and let me just jump on the bandwagon, and then it didn't do as expected, and now all of a sudden he's flipping and doing something else and bashing it. Now, again, I am not mad at Dan Aykroyd. I love Dan Aykroyd. He's great. Okay. But if Sony Pictures is saying that they're very happy with him, and if they did announce another Ghostbusters sequel, then what is that going to say about Dan Aykroyd?
Hey, Daniel.
So, it's up to him. So I just want to see how this plays out. I have a feeling that Dan Aykroyd's going to speak out more about it. I think, now this is the thing, and it's weird because Ghostbuster Day is 2 days away. I think, right?
Yeah,
pretty sure now.
One thing I posted over in the YouTube thing while I was muted. It makes me wonder how long he's been suffering from Asperger's.
Well, he's diagnosed in 2013.
If he was this all his life and it was just misdiagnosed.
Well, he has a whole article on it where he said that because he has Asperger's, that made him have this fascination with ghosts and law enforcement. That he says he carries a badge around, like some type of police thing. Maybe it's from when he did Dragnet or something. He carries around with him wherever he goes. Like this fascination with ghosts. He's saying the Asperger's is making him fascinated with the ghosts and law enforcement. I don't know if that's true. I mean, this is what Dan Aykroyd said. Mm-hmm. If you look him up and you look up what he said to the newspapers and stuff when he was diagnosed. So, but still, it is telling, and maybe that's why Paul is not going after him. Paul Feig not responding to him, ignoring it, because maybe these motion picture movie companies say, yeah, he's done this in the past. Just ignore it. Just let it go. Maybe he fought with Dan Aykroyd here. Maybe Dan Aykroyd fought with Bill Murray here and there. Yeah. So they basically let it go, let it die down. Don't say a word about it. I bet you they told him not to say anything about it. Because here's the thing: there's supposed to be an announcement on Friday, on Ghostbusters Day. I don't know. It's the outline of what their plans are, but honestly,
wonder, I hate saying this, but I wonder if this is just a publicity stunt in order to, in some manner.
You mean he's playing it up with Sony? They just created this fake trending thing, so that way they'll say, "Oh, Ghostbusters 2 is coming on Friday," and they're all re-signed, and oh my God, and this, and there's a crossover movie or something.
Because I still remember the Dante Inferno video game coming out, and we saw all these people, and it's this and that. And I kept looking, I thought, this does not feel right. This does not seem right. About a couple of days later, it was revealed that the makers of Dante Inferno, they just simply stuck these individuals out here to create all the hoopla over a song. I'm wondering if it's under the same vein.
Right. I love Dan Aykroyd. I love him in all these movies. I think I've seen every movie he's done. So, Trading Places. There's been tons. He's been in the second Caddyshack. I know he was in. He's been in a lot of damn movies, man. So, we'll see what happens. But that's that. And Ghostbuster Day, they will announce something. Hopefully, it's the sequel that I've been hoping for. We shall see, people. On to the box office now. And again, I'm going to talk about this when Chris gets in, or tomorrow maybe when Chris gets in. But we predicted The Mummy was not going to be number one. We said that Wonder Woman would probably be number one still, and The Mummy's going to get its ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the predictions are saying the same thing. Which, why the hell did you release it now? Why don't you listen?
It just amazes me. But to me, this movie, every one of these monster movies should be held off till around the Halloween month. That's how I look at it. Because you've got the Horror Fest. So what would be best to release it during the time of Halloween?
Yeah, I just wish they would have just, you know, they would have just friggin', even if they did it in August, you know, dude, it's like,
They're cutting their own throats.
I know.
And it's almost as though, well, they didn't make any money, and it's almost as though it's their way of just claiming that they made a sucky movie.
Well, I mean, if this is the first movie in the franchise, so now this does poorly, what are you going to say then?
Oh, this wasn't really the true starter.
Right, they keep doing this is the second time they've done that. So, how you doing, Daniel? What's going on with you, man?
Okay.
All right, so Wonder Woman's got in 240 million worldwide.
Yes.
Great job, Wonder Woman. That's awesome. And Pirates of the Caribbean, it seems, moved up. It's 510 million. That's doing phenomenal. Captain Underpants is doing well. Well, I mean, it's 26 million. I don't know what it costs the budget, but and let's see what else we have. Baywatch has in. Well, Baywatch moved up actually.
Oh, so
Baywatch has tied the budget. So Baywatch is hanging in there on a raft.
Yeah.
Hoping it gets picked up for a sequel.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's because the Alien Covenant sucked so bad.
Yeah.
But Baywatch, well, yes, it is because the Alien Covenant sucked so bad that Baywatch has moved up 2 spots.
That's a sad thing.
I hope they thank Alien Covenant for sucking so bad. Going to the galaxy. Going to the galaxy.
I just figured at the Oscars. Thank you, Alien Covenant. Due to your suckiness, we moved up.
I think
2
I would
spots.
say that in the theater. Like I would say that at an award show. Thank you for sucking. It was just Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has 818 million. So that is, I don't think that's going to make $1 billion, unfortunately, but
no,
because it's basically on its way out now.
Yeah.
Alien Covenant, our not favorite movie, has in 174 million. And let's see, what's Snatched? What did that do? That's 54 million. All right. That would be profitable, I'm sure. King Arthur, how much money did that lose this week?
It needs to be beheaded.
130 million, and it costs 175 million.
He needs to throw Excalibur back into the to the Lady of the Lake. I'm surprised the Lady of the Lake.
Boy, Beauty and the Beast moved up.
My sword back.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast moved up a spot or two. $1.241 billion.
Frick.
Yeah, and it looks like the Fate of the Furious moved up as well.
Which was a good movie.
$1.229 billion. Wow, they're really like taking money away from everything else, huh? Boss Baby was announced to have a sequel. That is basically finishing off so far at 483 million.
See, that's what they need to do. They need to wait and see how well a movie does, and then ponder the whole notion of a sequel. Now it's just like, we planned this, this, and this. Yeah, wait until see how your movie does, and then do the sequel.
I think Alien Covenant's going to be out of there.
Yeah, they're done.
And Baywatch is going to go up, and Baywatch may get a chance at a sequel, maybe.
Yeah, I can see Baywatch getting a sequel, and them just simply going Alien franchise until you change.
If I was The Rock, I would say thank you, Alien, for sucking.
Do this thing. You're out the door.
I would definitely say thank you for sucking, Alien, because I did. Okay, so besides that, now Daniel has some news for us. We're not going to do a Trekkie Kiss tonight, Daniel, because I'm waiting for some news to come in this week. But might be something hitting Friday. But what news did you have, Daniel?
Well, I gave you the news yesterday that Nicholas Meyer is working on a new project related to Star Trek.
So it could be a new movie.
It could be
or it could be the Next Generation movie.
Yeah. Well, they didn't say anything.
People are hinting that there's going to be a Star Trek The Next Generation, which would be fabulous. Brett Spiner, please. Brett Spiner, I'm sorry. That'd be great if he was in it as Data, because Data should be taking over that body there. Again, I don't think it's gonna be Next Generation movie. I think it's going to be Star Trek 4, and whatever is going on with the timelines or the mirror universes or whatever the hell it's going to be. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. And as far as I'm concerned, it was a success. So it was announced by J.J. Abrams already. It was going to be a sequel, and that's what they said. So.
Unless he's working on another TV series that we don't know
they're
about.
not going to do Star Trek series at the same time. Can't do it. You usually wait for one to be a success.
Klingons probably look differently.
You gotta wait for one to be a success first before you say, all right, you know. Besides that, let's see, what else is there to talk about? We have Jurassic World 2 says ramps up the horror.
What does?
We're Jurassic World 2.
Oh, okay.
Says filmmaker Colin Trevorrow is too busy. Let's see, what did he say here? With Star Trek 9 to direct Jurassic World sequel, leaving the job to more capable hands of J.A. Bayona, whatever his name is. Okay, so he said J.A. Bayona is very good at creating scares. There are things that he'll just do with the shadow or rustling curtain on a wall. He's so tapped into kind of fear, especially the fear through the eyes of a child, which he and I are just sympathetic. Sympathetico? Yeah!
Simpatico?
Yes, thank you. We may be the mirrors of each other. It is by far the most satisfying collaboration in my life. Okay. So basically, he's trying to say it's going to be scarier.
Good.
Oh. Okay, what else do we have? Pretty much, that's it in a nutshell.
Job 2 is coming out too, so bum.
Yeah. Is anybody going to the movies this weekend?
Yeah, I'm off this Friday, so whichever movie is coming out that day, I'm going to see.
Yeah, we're going to see Mummy. We're going to see Wonder Woman on Saturday. Wonder Woman. And I don't know about the Mummy. Tom Cruise may just, may not happen this week.
I might suffer myself through the Mummy.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Daniel? What are you doing this weekend? You going to the movies or no?
I might go see Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, okay. Very good.
It's not like it used to be. Like, back in the day, there was good movies all the time in cinemas. Now it's just like...
This is summer season, man. It's the greatest season right now. All these movies pop out every week, man.
It's kind of lackluster.
What?
Like the cinemas, like for example, I was like driving. I was driving, and I was like talking to my friends. I was like, do you remember back in the day, back in the '90s, there was good stuff in the cinema all the time. You couldn't go to the cinema without finding something you want to go see. But now it's just there's a lot of stuff that you don't like,
Well, I'm finding that there's tons of stuff out right now. I mean, that's going to keep.
It's like they're running out of ideas or something.
I don't know. Who knows? All right, guys, that is going to be it. Take care back now.